Hey now, it's Sharon. I'm back to share another idea on how to reform the police. If you're new to the channel, I'm a retired detective. I worked for a southeastern city in the US for 20 years, and I was also in the military. I'm sharing my experiences along with my perspective in hopes of sharing this platform, this table, if you will, on how to reform the police. Now, mind you, I didn't say abolish, so don't write me about that or anything like that. I said retool, reform the police. And the ideas behind it are based on experience and talking to other folks that I've worked with throughout my career. And one thing that came up that I've talked about with people in policing and folks that are friends of ours or family, they noticed that they had family members that jump from department to department. And I've seen that throughout my career. And my experience and my opinion has been, if you're jumping from department to department, there's something going on. You're looking for something. And a lot of times those officers don't work out well in the department that they're in, and then they'll go to another one before the outcome of the case is settled. And a lot of police departments will accept them, will accept these officers because they don't have charges. You'll see retired in lieu of investigation, things like that. And a lot of departments will accept them. And so my thought is, if you're jumping from department to department, I told a friend of mine's, going from department to department, and you really don't have a goal in mind, that's an issue. And then I told him to look, well, I shared it with him. It's a spiritual thing going on, and you're a consumer. You always have your head down. I fashioned it to eating. You're always eating like this with your head down. Producers look up. Producers have an end game in mind, an end goal, and consumers, all they do is eat, and they go to the next plate, and they go to the next plate, and if the plate is not here, they're moving on. And I gave it to them like that. Consumers and producers. You want to be a producer of peace, if you will, a producer of safety in policing on a spiritual level, for those of you who have that spiritual mindset. And so going from police department to the police department signifies something. And within the agency, they need to question that. But I have a plan. Remember, I always have a plan, and I put it together. It's written out. And part of my plan is to have like a fusion center of a database of all police officers, and their jacket, their disciplinary jacket goes with them. Wherever department they go to, there's a disciplinary jacket that stays in the fusion center. Your public safety number, we're all given a number that identifies us as individuals in policing. That goes into the database. So once you transfer, it goes into the database. And so that agency knows, okay, I'm looking at his or her jacket, disciplinary jacket. I don't know if we want this one. Or it could be, okay, well, let's check this out. It says in lieu of investigation, let's go see why. A lot of departments don't have that information, and then they don't go see why. Sometimes they don't choose to because they gotta reach the numbers. That's another thing. People think, there's a quota. Yeah, it's a quota. We call it productivity when we're out on the street patrolling, giving tickets. But there's also a quota for getting the police in, the turnover rates, and officers retiring and leaving. So, yeah, I just want to share that little bit with you. Officers jumping from department to department in lieu of investigation, or because they're the problem officer moving on to another agency, and their current agency is letting them retire. Think about that now. We've seen on TV officers doing, it's obviously wrong, policy-wise, and sometimes criminal. And then they end up retiring because their agency let them retire, because that pension means something. And then they go to the next department with a clean slate, so to speak. So yeah, my idea is in the plan. Create a fusion center, a database, national database. All statewide agencies have to abide by it. Put your officer in there with their disciplinary jacket. And we'll see a lot of this abuse of power, I think, go down. But that's just an idea. And that's it for now. I'll share another idea next week. Take a look at our online store. The link is in the description. I created some notebooks. The links for those in the description. And like I said, these are just ideas based on my experience and my perspective. All right? Comment, like, subscribe, and always remember, you don't necessarily have to go through a thing to learn from it. Talk to you later. Bye.